Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Hi, Dr. Hanim is already here. Okay, we wait for the others to join. Sama duduk kita. Okay,
Kebetulan.
boleh. So, okay, we wait for the others to join us. Currently, we have around 10 people here. Okay, I hope there's more will be joining us. Can you hear me, Dr. Hanim? Yes. We just wait for a while, yeah. So, how are you today, Doctor?
Okay, sihat. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, yes. So, thank you for joining us today at the very sunny and bright Saturday morning. Yeah, together with the others as well. So, I hope this session will be beneficial to all the postgraduate students and also some of the students that will be doing their final year project, I think. Yeah, because for them to know the ways and how to search for literature. Yeah. So we just wait for another, let's say, another 3 minutes to go, but we wait sekejap dulu, boleh doktor?
Boleh, boleh. Sure, sure.
Okay. More people joining. Thank you. There are also some international students here. Familiar name. Cyril. Cyril, you are postgraduate students, if I'm not wrong. Cyril. Yeah. Becca, Putriku. And some of you will be joining us soon, I think, or already at your second semester coming up for will be joining for this, will be registering for research method class next semester. Some of you are doing coursework and also by research, PhD and also masters by research. Yeah. Okay. Another 1 minute to go. Thank you for joining us this morning on this Saturday morning. Yeah, I think we have done few workshop too. Yeah, but during weekdays, so unfortunately that not many people able to make it because they are working. Some of them are working, so we take this initiative to do it on weekends in order to attract more crowds. And yeah, we did record the session during weekdays, but but it's kind of difficult for the students to ask questions because it's recorded version, right? So now we try to make it on weekends so that we have more crowds. Yeah. Okay, it's 9 o'clock. Yeah. So let's start. Good morning. Assalamualaikum. A very good morning to everyone. My name is Dr. Izianti Awang Razli. Yeah, I am the postgraduate coordinator by research for the Faculty of Business, Economics and Accountancy. Most of you, the postgraduate students, especially by research, are very familiar with me, I guess. Those we have those who have questions with regards to the studies or anything to do with your supervisors and things like that. Okay, so today we are grateful that we have a session with Dr. KHAIRUL HANIM PAZIM, okay, a senior lecturer at the Faculty of Business, Economics and Accountancy, University Malaysia Sabah. She obtained her Bachelor of Economics, so her background is in economics, yeah, and Masters of Economics from the International Islamic University of Malaysia, which is UIAM, yeah. And she also obtained a PhD from the Center for Research on Aging from the University of Southampton, UK. Yeah. So Dr. Hanim, expertise is in labor economics with a specialization in research related to human resource economics and aging studies. Yeah, but surprisingly, she never aged. Yeah. She doesn't look uh, as her age. Yeah. So currently she has around 4 PhD students under her supervisions, and also a lot, I think about 3 masters by research, yeah, students under her under her supervision as well. Very well versed in studies in qualitative research, if I'm not wrong. Dr. Hanim, is it qualitative?
Quantitative.
Quantitative research, and also well known for her experts in areas of consultations related to economic studies lah. Okay. Without further ado, I pass the session to Dr. KHAIRUL HANIM PAZIM. Over to you, Doctor.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Izyanti, for the introduction. A huge thanks to the section, our faculty's postgraduate section for organizing this workshop. And I've been given talk about a similar topic maybe 2 times already, and maybe this is, I think this is the 3rd time. Okay, and congratulations to all of you who have participated and participating in today's session. I think it might not be a very easy task for you, especially in during this weekend, and I'm still in KL. It's raining outside. I will be going back soon to KK tomorrow. Okay. And yes, I really appreciate your attendance to this session. Okay, for this session, it will be a very relaxing type of discussion, not too academic. And it's more of a sharing session. Okay, I'm sharing what I have been going throughout my PhD, how I my experience lah, okay, into doing the and completing the PhD, and especially in searching for literature. Okay, so for all of you today, okay, can you press 1 if you are the MBA student? Press 2 if you are MHCM student. Press 3 if you are MECon student. Press 4 if you are Master by Research. And press 5 if you are PhD student. Okay, just press the number. I just want to know your participation. Tak ada pun lagi. In the chat box, in the chat box. Okay, good, very good. Okay, most of you. Okay, great. Okay. Some of you from, okay, majority from the MBA, okay? And then you have the MHCM, okay? PhD, good. Okay. Masters by Research tak ada. 4. Okay, very good. Okay. So I would like to start off my presentation. Let me share the slides. Okay. I will share the screen. Okay. Okay. So I'm not sure whether some of you have already joined the session before. So this is a third session of efficient literature searching. So this is the workshop organized by the postgraduate section of our faculty. And for those who have already joined before, this might be a revision for you or a refresher for you. And for those who this is your first time joining the session, okay, you can listen to this workshop and perhaps can benefit for your research or your dissertation and research. Sekejap, kenapa dia tak boleh? Okay, so today I would go for this topic, efficient literature searching. So what is literature searching? Okay, so what you might heard of is literature review. Okay, when you do your thesis or your dissertation, it's more of literature review. But I'm not going to focus on doing your literature review. It's not about literature review, but it's about literature searching. Before you come up with your topic, before you come up with your write-up, okay, before you come up with your introduction of your thesis or your dissertation, you have to find the material. You have to read and find materials in order for you to get a topic, in order for you to write your research. Okay, so I'm here to help you to find those literature. Okay, it's not about literature review, it's about literature searching. Okay, so here the content of this workshop is working with literature, tools for searching literature, and other search tips. Okay, so I will also give you some tips in order for you to expedite your search in literature. So working with literature. So why do you work with literature? So working with literature is essential part. It's a very important part of the research process. I think it's a main or the fundamental process. Why? Because when you read those literature, you will come up with ideas. So it is a research process that generates ideas, helps form significant questions, and is instrumental in the process of research design. Okay, so before you start off with your writing up your research, you have to read first. Okay, you have to read various sources in order for you to generate the idea. Even if you're going to come up with a topic, you cannot just simply come up with a topic without reading. So you need to have a material to read in order for you to generate ideas and form a topic. Okay, and sometimes when you read more, you tend to have different ideas. New ideas comes in. Perhaps the research topic would also change as you continue reading and reading. Okay, as you continue to read and read. Okay, so it is a complex task that involves developing. Okay. Okay, it is complex task that involves developing skills to find, manage, use, and review the literature. Okay, so let's review the literature. So here, I'm going to help you to find the literature. Okay, to not really manage the literature. Managing literature will be in your second workshop by Dr. Rudy. I think he will be talking about references, managing your references. So that is managing, okay? And then you use your literature, and finally you review the literature. So these are the 4 skills that you need when you work with literature, okay?
Dr. Hanim,
Yeah.
I think for most students kan,
Mhm.
the challenge is to actually when they are searching for topics kan, they will key in maybe in Google, you know, if you have no experience, you just Google it and there will be millions of
Mm.
articles. So I think that is the main problem. So they will ask us as a supervisor of lecture, Doctor, which one is the right topic? Which one is the right article that I should read? You know, not everything
Yeah.
is important. So I think that is one of the reason for this workshop to be conducted, right? On
Yes, yes.
choose which
Yeah.
one and to organize tak sangat lah kan, tapi to choose
Uh-uh.
which one. Okay.
Yeah. We are going to look into how to find those literature in a systematic way. Okay. Sekejap saya tak dapat nak go next Kenapa ya? Sekejap saya stop dulu. Share balik semula.
Yeah, systematic literature search requires you to tackle the search process lah kan, in the sense,
Yeah.
dia ada
Searching
cara
process.
searching.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good. Okay, so we are exploring the literature. Okay, later on we will look into what are the types of literature that we're going to find. Okay, as Dr. Izyanti have mentioned, when we Google kan, a lot of literature comes out, but how do we tackle those issues? Okay, so while working with literature, first of all, we have to find the literature. So basically, the workshop today is to find the literature. Okay, to find the literature, knowing the literature types. What are the types of literature that you need to have in your thesis or in your research? Okay, using available resources. Not all resources are available. Sometimes the resources is there, however, it is not accessible. Okay, we have a lot of problem trying to get unaccessible resource. Okay, it happens to not only students but also researchers like me and Dr. Izyanti and the rest of the researchers. Okay, we have the resources, it's in front of us, however we are unable to access it. Why? Because perhaps it is we need to buy it, we need to purchase it in order for us to read those articles and so on. So we have to deal with these problems. Okay, knowing your literature types, using available resources, honing your search skill. So you really need to sharpen your searching skill. Okay, how to search for those literature. Okay, and once you have found your literature, you need to manage your literature. So you have to read efficiently. So how do you want to read efficiently? Later on, I will show you a software that can help you to read efficiently. So you don't have to read all your journals, okay, journal articles, the books and so on. You can only read the important points. Okay, keeping track of references, which will be dealt by Dr. Rudy in the coming workshop. Okay, writing relevant annotations. Okay, and that is on managing your literature sources. Okay, and then you have to use it. Buat apa you cari, you manage and you don't use it? Of course, you need to use it. Okay, jangan simpan tak guna, tak buat apa-apa. So you have to use it. So how do you use your literature? How do you use your literature sources? Okay, you read your literature to choose your research topic. Okay, you cannot come up with a research topic without reading. Okay, so you need to read a lot of materials in order for you to come up with a topic. And of course, your topic can change once you have read more and more. Okay, a lot of my students sekejap topik ni, and then the next time you come and see me, your topic would be different. Why? After a series of searching for literature and reading your literature. Okay, and another one is to develop your question. Okay, when you read, you are able to look into the gap. Okay, when you read a lot of materials, you will see that you are able to come up with a research question, research gap, and this literature will certainly help you in doing your research, especially in your chapter 1 and your chapter 2. Okay, arguing your rationale, why you justify of exploring or doing this type of research. Okay, you are able to argue the rationale of undertaking that research after you have read series of literature that you have found. Okay, and informing your study with theory. Of course, you need to have literature, especially textbook. Okay, research textbook, which would guide you to explore or find the relationship with your topic and the theory. Okay, and designing the method. Okay, so you use all this literature in order to come up with all of these functions. Choosing your research topic, developing your questions, arguing your rationale, your justification of why you want to undertake the research. Okay, it is because of the theory that you have to link your research with your theory, and also to design method. Okay, and finally you review it. So kalau review literature review ni, okay, you have special skill of doing the literature review, but I'm not going to look into how to do the literature review. But in doing the literature review, you have to understand the literature review's purpose, to ensuring adequate coverage of the literature review. Okay, writing purposefully and working on the style and the tone. And basically, I will sikit-sikit lah, mungkin a little bit of going into how to manage, how to use, and how to review it. But the main purpose of today is to find your literature. Okay, any questions so far? Yeah. So the types of literature. Okay, nampak lengthy kan? So it's just going to give you a perspective of what are the type of literature or the literature sources. Okay. Okay, primary literature. Okay, basically when you do your thesis, okay, or your dissertation, your research, you will be looking into a published article journal. Okay, peer-reviewed journal. So primary literature is the articles published in peer-reviewed journal. It can also include conference paper, preliminary reports. All those are the primary literature. Okay, and number 2 is secondary literature. Okay, the secondary literature is the literature that have been already composed. Okay, people or researchers has come up with a literature review of it. Okay, and review articles such as meta-analysis, systematic review, literature review. You can just type in the Google. Okay, maybe your topic and then literature review, and the literature review can appear. Okay, ataupun meta-analysis or systematic review. Okay, a systematic review of, I don't know, what is your topic? Maybe someone is doing topic on, I don't know. For me, I'm doing most of my research is on aging population. Maybe I will put aging population trends, a systematic review, and then you have a lot of different types of literature review. Okay, Okay, it can be meta-analysis, systematic review, and so on and so forth. Okay, so they are already synthesized, they are generalized and integrated into a new research. You can also read literature review to help you with your literature review. They're simple because someone have already generalize it for you. Tapi for literature, the primary literature, contohnya this research which has been published in journal, you have to read, and then there is a part where there is a literature review there. However, you still have to generalize it. Tetapi for secondary literature, it has already generalized it for you. Okay, and the third one, third literature is in terms of textbook. Okay, textbook is very important. Textbook, contohnya textbook in research methods by Alan Bryman, for example. That is important because satu, it gives you the guide of how to conduct research. Okay, what is quantitative research, what is qualitative research. So you need to understand those general ideas of the research design, because research design it's not available in article journal. They don't give you a fundamental background of what is qualitative data, qualitative research, quantitative research, what is sample, what is reliability. All those things are covered in textbook. So it is important for you to not only focus on primary literature, secondary literature, but you must also look into textbook, especially research methods textbook, okay? And encyclopedia, for example, guidebooks or handbooks. Those are very important, okay? Kadang-kadang books, not textbooks, books, books about certain a topic, okay? Let's say books about population aging, theories and practices. That is important. Why? Because it talks about theory. Okay, in your dissertation or your thesis, there is a section where you have to include in theory. You have to link your research with theory, or link the theory with your research. So it is important to have the tertiary literature. Okay, so altogether in your thesis, you have to what helps you in writing your thesis or your dissertation are your primary literatures, your secondary literatures, and also tertiary literature. Okay, don't focus, because sometimes people focus only on primary literature. Hanya just the journal article sahaja. No, you also need to have other types of literature in order to support your study. Okay. Okay. So planning your literature search. Okay. Now you have identified different types of literature kan. It can be books, it can be article, journal, it can be even the literature itself, literature review itself. Okay, so now you plan your literature search, a process of brainstorming key terms in synonym and how these might combine, including the use of search syntax. It is also important to plan which search tools are appropriate and relevant to consult. Okay, let's say when you press the keyboard, you want to find your topic. Okay, can any one of you just write your if you don't have the topic, just give me a general idea of what will you do in your research later on, ataupun you are doing your research. Okay, kalau for me, okay, since my customer satisfaction, okay, customer satisfaction, what else? Okay, I give the example of my research. Okay, my research is lupa dah apa. I'm looking into apa tengok tu topik PhD sendiri pun lupa. Apa intergenerational transfers, intergenerational transfers, the relationship between co-residents, intergenerational transfers, with labor participation among older people in Malaysia. Okay, that is my research my PhD topic. Okay, so we have to identify the key terms. If you are going to start off with your searching of your literature, okay, start off with your key terms. Okay, let's say I want to look into aging population. My research on aging population. Okay, another key terms is I want to find the factors affecting older people who works after retirement. Okay, that is another key terms, the factor, the determinants, older people, and then work employment. Okay, those are the things, the key terms that I want to have while searching my for my research. Okay, so you have various strategies. For me, I look into the keywords. Okay, so for me, the keywords, the first keywords that I want to deal with is people. Okay, older people. So there's a lot of terms connoting older people. Okay, it can be people, it can be person, it can be individual, it can be society, it can be citizen. Okay, older people can be older citizen. Okay, those are synonym for people. Okay, so please make sure in searching for your topic in or searching for your research in the internet, you have to come up with various terms, because not all articles in the internet use the same word people. Some researchers use person, older person. Some might use older people. Okay, senior citizen. Okay, so synonym for people might be person, individual, society. Synonym for factors. Okay, you want to find factors. Okay, maybe some researchers might use factors. Factors are influencing older people's participation in the labor market. Some might use determinants. Determinants of labor force participation. Okay, predictors. Okay, so synonym for factors can be characteristics, determinant, factors, predictors. Okay, there are also related concepts. Okay, related concept. For example, aging population can be silver, can be gray, active aging, can be labor market participation, working in old age. So various concepts in aging population that you are going to look into. Terminology variations for older people. Some may use elderly people instead of older people. Some may use senior citizen instead of elderly people in their writing, in the research. Okay, aged people, aging people, older person, old people, retirees, old age, older adults. Okay, so you need to come up with these keywords. Okay, because researchers might use different keywords in developing the research topics. Okay, spelling differences as well. Okay, like for aging in British, spelling would be AGEING. In the US spelling, it would be AGING. Okay, labor, for example, in British is LABOUR. Okay, labor in US is LABOR. So take that into consideration when you search for, when you write the keywords in searching for your research in the internet. Okay, and okay, okay. So yang ini is how to use Boolean operators to refine a literature search. Okay, you can use the operator or. Okay, okay, older people or elderly people. Okay, so this increases the number of documents you retrieve. Okay, kalau you put for me, older people or elderly people or older adults or senior citizen. Okay, so more and more numbers of the documents you will retrieve, because a lot of keywords that have been entered into the search. Okay, and okay, you want to any it's more specific. Okay, contohnya older people and labor market. Okay, so the search will look into papers or articles that have older people, and it is restricted into the labor market punya issues. Okay, yang ada labor market inside the research paper that deal with labor market, or older people and labor market and Malaysia. Okay, it will narrow down the research, the search into articles that includes older people, and it has labor market, and it deals with Malaysia. Okay, so and it reduces the number of documents. It narrow down your search, and then if you want to reduce the number, you don't want to you want to restrict your finding or your search. Let's say you don't want anything related to Malaysia, just labor participation, not Malaysia, some other country. Okay, so you put labor participation, not Malaysia. Okay, so that is the operators. Okay, so you can also use apa tu quotation mark, okay, in order for you to find your articles inside the internet. Okay, you go for older people, you have the quotation mark older people. So the result might be when you the result of your search, perhaps you can find something like this: participation of older people. So it comes together, older people comes together, dekat older people in the labor market is increasing, for example. If you have the older people without the quotation mark, quotation mark quotation mark without the quotation mark, so you might find something like it is separated. Some changes in thinking are common as people, because you have older people, gets older and older somewhere else. It doesn't attach older people, tak attach at the, sekali. Okay, so people and then older, it becomes separated. But if you put the quotation mark, okay, you will get something which is together lah, older people in one sentence. Okay, so this is the strategy that you can use while you key in your search. Okay. Tools for literature searching. Okay, this is the UMS library website. Have you ever go into this UMS library website? Yes, okay, Jim. Dah masuk kan? Okay, let's see. Okay, so I stop this for a while. Okay. Yes.
Why do we I think most of the students might be asking, why do we need to use the UMS library website? Why can't we just use Google?
Ada. We will use various
search engine.
Research engine, yes, a lot. Okay. So one of the type of search that we can go for is UMS library. Nanti ada lagi banyak. We will look into a lot of apa tu, screen that. Sekejap. Okay, let's say boleh nampak kan? Library. Okay, one of the avenues for searching the literature is from your own library website. Okay, make use of the library. Okay, if you're not around campus, masuk saja electronic resources. Okay, fine. Okay, electronic resources. Okay, in this electronic resources, past year exam papers pun ada. Okay, databases, e-journal, e-books. Okay, past year exam papers, repository. Okay, resource list, encyclopedia, external resources, quick reference. Okay, so maybe I will look into the database. Okay. Okay, dia ada banyak Britannica, clinical skill, okay, Emerald, okay, G-Store. Okay. Let's say if I take this one. Okay. Okay, yang ni dia punya database lah. Okay. So you can search for your books or your journal. Okay, let's say I tak tahu you guys buat apa, tapi I letak aging population lah. Okay, aging population. Okay, aging population. Okay, so keluarlah a lot of, because I don't this is a broad topic lah, aging population saja. Okay, so you can have yang ni mungkin if you want to come up with a research topic, tak boleh you just macam straight go into you tengok the broad perspective first. Okay, let's say I'm doing on aging population. I don't know what to do in aging population. What are the topics in aging population? Okay, you can have a read. Okay, what is the issues in aging population? Okay, so ini semua about ada book chapters. Let's say if I want to look into only the journals, not book chapters. Okay, journal sahaja. Can just tick lah journal. Okay, line. Only journal articles come out. Okay, tak ada buku ke apa kan? It's just journal article. Okay, semua ni adalah open access lah. Okay, you can download, you can save, you can cite. Okay, the problem of an aging population. So you can also sort by relevance, oldest or newest. Okay, so you can have the filter there. Okay, and also let's say this is talking. Okay, kalau Scopus pun ada juga. Okay, from the same UMS kan? Okay. Okay, UMS. Okay, you can have keywords. You want to start off with your keywords, ataupun maybe you have the authors. You want to put the author's name, ataupun it's just a article title, abstract keywords. Okay, and then if you want to add more fields, search field, you just add here. Okay, yang ni under Scopus lah. Okay, maybe I don't know. Aging population and employment ke, employment, labor market. Apa yang keluar? Search. Okay, ada di bawah sini. Okay. Keluarlah whatever labor market in, okay, among aging population. Okay, something like that. Okay, so you can go to various search here. Scopus ada. Okay, yang lain-lain ni I haven't masuk lagi. Okay, Emerald Insight. Okay, you can use yang ini, G-Store. Okay, Science Direct, Scopus, Springerling. Okay, Springerling. Okay, semua ni boleh guna. Okay, that's one, the first that you can use lah. Okay, okay, we go back into our. Okay, you can use the library website. Okay, okay, you also have information literacy class handled by the library website. By our library, UMS library. You can go into their website. Okay, okay. So other electronic literature database, semua inilah. It's available in the UMS website, ataupun you can just, if you have, later on, I can give you a copy of this slide. You can just go into these sites lah. Okay. Journal, okay. And it's available in the library website juga. Okay. Okay. And free databases for articles. Ini free database. However, ada yang free. It's a free database. However, sometimes it might not be available. Dia ada lah, dia punya, it shows you the article name, the title of the article. However, it's not accessible. Why? Because sometimes you have to pay and so on. But you can have a look into Google Scholar, Dimension, Microsoft Academic, Crossref, Semantic Scholar. Semua ni you can go into. Okay. The most popular lah, popular yang I used to search for my literature yang inilah, Google Scholar. Okay. So let's say saya masuk Google Scholar, I skip sekejap, stop. Okay. Go into Google Scholar.
Dr. Hanim?
Yes.
Okay, so in other words, the one that when we search from the library database, okay, meaning that those articles, we can retrieve the articles if we retrieve from the library database, right? Yes. So in other words, our library actually subscribe this journal. So it is. So bila you click je, when you search and click, you'll be able to retrieve it. You will be able to read it lah. In comparison with Google Scholar, am I correct?
Yes, kalau Google Scholar dia much more, it's more wide, it's wider, and then some articles which have not been subscribed by the library is there in the Google Scholar.
Yeah, it's also there.
Contohnya, for example, there are certain journals that have not been subscribed by the library, but you can find it elsewhere. For example, Google Scholar lah. Okay.
Okay.
Show you again. Share screen. Okay, we go to Google Scholar. Okay. So Google Scholar. Okay. You type lah your what you want to find. Okay, let's say tadi Dr. Izianti, can you give me a keyword that I can type?
Perhaps customer satisfaction.
Customer
satisfaction.
Customer satisfaction.
Ya, dia bukan dan satu loyalty.
Loyalty, satisfaction kan? Satisfaction. Satisfaction. I want this to be in one perkataan kan? Okay. Okay, customer satisfaction. Semua ni ada. Okay, it is PDF. You can customers. What's the difference between if you put customer satisfaction in the Google saja? Okay, you have Google kan? The normal Google. Okay, Google kan? Google. Customer satisfaction. Okay. Dia ada banyak. Dia keluar a lot of things kan? Ada from different blogs, okay, ada, you can get it from books, institute, okay. But if you go for Google Scholar, it's basically articles from journal lah, journals.
Reputable.
Dia tak ada yang blog, it doesn't include blogs and so on. Okay, so customer satisfaction, let's say you want to have, and you want to specify Malaysia lah. Okay, enter. Okay, yang ni which have Malaysia inside lah. Influence factors of customer satisfaction, a case study in Shopee in Malaysia. Okay, ataupun dia keluar lagi, banyaklah dia keluar. Okay, in Malaysia. If you want to specify in Malaysia, Or if you don't want to have Malaysia, maybe you want to have a gender perspective. Let's try. I don't know. Okay, and women, something like that. Ni ada women, men and women. Okay, dia dah specify lagi. Okay, if you are looking into the gender perspective lah between men and women, ada punya customer satisfaction macam mana kan? Okay, so bolehlah guna. Okay, customer satisfaction, or you can say customer loyalty. Sekejap kita try. Try je. Dia keluar apa? Okay. Customer satisfaction, loyalty. Okay. So it becomes more lesser in our search. Just now ada beribu kan? We can now it becomes 595. Why? Because we have specified customer satisfaction, Malaysia and women. Okay. If we don't have this, it's just customer satisfaction saja. Okay. What will happen? Okay, what will happen? Okay, how many search we can find? Million kan? 1 million kan ni? 1 million search. So you want to specify you want to narrow down your search, you can use the operators just now. Okay. So, and also you can create alerts. Okay, let's say customer satisfaction and Malaysia just now kan? Kita nak tengok about Malaysia. Okay. Malaysia. Okay. Okay, study in Malaysia. And then I want create alert. Why do you want to create alert? Because sometimes, okay, you can create alert and then ini cancel. Alamak, cancel pula. Alamak, sekejap ya. Settle. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's say customer customer satisfaction and Malaysia, new alert, and I create alert. Okay. And then salah pula. Okay. About create alert about just now punya apa tu? Satisfaction tu kan? Create alert. Customer satisfaction. Okay, create alert. Okay, alert have been created. So later on, what you can find in your email, it will alert you of the latest update of the search. Okay, let's say there's a new search coming in related to customer satisfaction and Malaysia. You will be alerted in your email. For me, it will be alerted in my UMS email. Okay. So every time you open your email, the Google Scholar will alert you of the latest paper so that you might not miss out with the latest updates of your research topic. Okay. Okay. Any question? Okay. So that's about Google Scholar. Okay, you can find a lot of other search engine. Engine ke panggil. Okay, sekejap ya. Okay. Okay. Share semula. Okay. So that's about Google Scholar. Okay. You can also check with other databases, free databases, Microsoft Academic, Crossref. Okay. Some of the database is targeted to science stream punya topic, okay, but some are social sciences, okay. So for me, I will go for Google Scholar lah. It's more wider in perspective rather than macam dimension semua ni, a lot of science punya stream papers. Okay. The next one, okay. Let's say if you you are able to find the article, okay, either you use Google Scholar ataupun you use Google search. Even so, not necessarily Google Scholar lah. You can also use Google search. It doesn't matter. Okay. And then you get the full article. You get the article. However, you are not given the full article. You have to purchase for the article. So there tips that I can share with you of how to enhance to full text article. Okay, you go to the extension open access. You go to the Chrome Web Store. Okay, you just type saja Google Chrome Web Store, and then you can search for coporneo.com. Okay, unpaywall. A lot read cube papers, lazy scholar, open access. Okay, yang ini I will show you. Okay, let's say this is my laptop lah kan. This is my extension here. Okay, I have a lot of extension here. Okay, Google Scholar button, lazy scholar. Okay, open access helper web, semua ni lah. Okay, especially EndNote lah yang ni. Yang ni helps me a lot. Okay, the EndNote click, formerly known as Coporneo. Okay, you can have a look into this EndNote click. You register, and then it is very useful. Okay, especially when sometimes when a research paper is there but is not accessible, this EndNote click can help you to get the full text, access to full text paper. Sometimes, okay, not always. Ada juga when I use this, I could not access the full text, tetapi it might help. Okay, unpaywall. Okay, open access button. What else? So I use those lah. Okay, you just add into that. Kalau sini kan, make sure that this button kan, okay, this button, make sure it's blue in color. Okay, when you insert the extension, okay, you just make sure that it's blue in color, meaning to say it is active, or else it will not be activated. Okay, unpaywall, if it's white in color, it's not activated, but if I press this one, it's activated. Okay, so let's say if I want to find this paper. Okay. Okay. So here, let's see if it's available. Yes, it is available. Actually, it's not available, but because I use the extension just now, it is available. Okay. Okay. But bukan full kan ni? Rasanya tak full ni. It's not full. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Kalau you use the Coporneo just now, it's not available. Okay, it's not available. The view PDF dapat tak? Rasanya tak dapat ni. Okay. You have to purchase the PDF. Okay. Not sure if it is accessed through the UMS. Click UMS kejap ya. What happens? Okay. Okay, you can have a look into various extension open access in order to get full text. Okay. Kalau or you can use Harzing, publish or perish. This is another way of you getting full text sources. Okay. Yang ini you have to go into Harzing lah, buka Harzing kan. Let's see. Google. Okay. Harzing. Publish and perish. Okay. You go there to this one. You have to install lah. Okay. You have to install if you are using the Microsoft window ataupun Apple, guna yang ni. Okay, kalau yang ini, I use this one lah. Okay, Microsoft. So, let's say I already installed this one. Okay, what will happen? Lama tak dapat. Okay. See, Harzing. Okay. Yang ini, how do you use this Harzing ni kan? This thing will appear. Okay, this thing will appear. Okay. This thing will appear when you install the Harzing. Okay, Harzing apa publish or perish ni. Okay, so this thing will appear. Let's say we want to find some articles in Google Scholar. Okay, and then you just you find somewhere in the internet the article. Okay, and then let's say I want to find something yang Zimmer on keywords dia. Aging population. Okay, like that. Okay, and then I search lah. Search. Okay, search. Okay, dia keluar. Okay, ni a list of related article with the author Zimmer relating to aging population. His article lah. Okay, so you can have a look lah. Let's see here. Okay. Okay. This is another way lah. Harzing is another way of finding related articles. Okay, let's say you are unable to get the apa tu the can use kalau ini tak dapat kan, but you can find the articles here. Okay, but some are available, some are not available. Okay, another way of finding it is using have you heard about bukan Google Scholar connected papers. Connected papers. Connected papers. This is explore academic papers. Okay. Okay. Let's say you already have the DOI of the paper. Okay, let's say saya letak DOI tadi kan. Okay, build a graph. Okay. Okay. Ini pun another way of getting or finding related papers relating to your topic. Okay, let's say it's about saya letak apa tadi migration, location, provision of support two older parents, the case of Romania. Okay, I don't know why I choose that one just now. Tetapi here is the related articles relating to your to the topic of Zimmer just now. Okay, who cite Zimmer 2014 for this migration, location, and provision of support to older people in the case of Romania. So a lot of people cite him, okay, and he cite other people. So this is the apa panggil the web that shows different apa tu in the references. Okay, contohnya kita nak something here yang ini. Okay, you can get the papers in Google Scholar, for example. Okay, you tekan Google Scholar. Let's say you want papers that have been cited by Zimmer or someone who have cited Zimmer. Okay, yang ini the impact of outmigration. Okay, let's say here the impact of living arrangement of older people on intergenerational transfers from their adult children in China. Let's say I'm interested in this one. Okay, I click here, and then maybe I want this paper. Let's say I click this Google Scholar. Hope that I can get this paper. Okay, let's see. It's PDF. Okay, it's there. Okay. Okay, let's say I want similar topic. Okay. Parents preferred caregivers in rural China, for example. Okay, I click that one and I want that paper. Google Scholar. I'm not sure whether it is available. Or we have to register, or we have to pay for this. Okay, let's say I get this TOI. Okay, for you, okay, if you don't have this article and it's not available, okay, I don't know whether it's it's not legal, it's illegal, but I use Sci-Hub lah. Okay, it's illegal actually, but I just use it for to get the paper. Okay, Sci-Hub. I don't know whether it's available or not. Let me see. Paste and then open. Yeah, it's available. Using Sci-Hub, it's available. Using other avenue, it's not available, but I use Sci-Hub ada. Okay, so use a lot of things. You use a lot of avenues to find your search literature. Okay, in searching for your literature. Okay, Sci-Hub can be one of the ways lah. If you cannot find any other ways, the last thing you can do is using the Sci-Hub. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay. So you can have the extension open access. Okay. You have already installed in your laptop, and then you go for HARZIM publish or perish to find articles. And then if you cannot find the full text of it, you can go to Sci-Hub. Okay. It's illegal, but it's okay. Okay. Okay, for books, okay, you can go for library books. Okay, you have the e-resources, e-books. Okay, and last time I've been using the Z library, but now I think it's not available. Okay, it's not available now. LibGen, I'm not sure. PDF drive can be one of the ways to get PDF books. Okay, you can have a look into this. But most of the time you can refer to the ebooks in the library. Okay. Thesis. Okay. You have the University Library Repository. Okay. Kalau in our UMS, we have just now kan I showed you just now yang UMS punya repository tu. Mana sudah? Yes. Okay. Library, okay. Library electronic sources, let's see. E-books, ada e-books juga. Okay. Yang ni UMS repository. Okay. All the thesis ataupun research paper done under the UMS, it's here in the UMS repository. Okay. What else? This is a thesis. Okay. Another way of okay, why is it important to refer to thesis? Because it gives you a guideline of how the structure of a thesis looks like. Okay, but different university uses different thesis guideline. Kalau for UMS, we have the UMS gaya penulisan gaya penulisan UMS. So you have to follow the gaya penulisan UMS. Other universities I have different gaya penulisan. Okay, so you have to refer to your gaya penulisan UMS to do your write up. Okay, and so some university you can look into maybe not the format, but you can look into how your the thesis have been written. Okay, so for me, I like to refer to thesis, other people's thesis, in order for me to get a general idea of how to do your write up. Okay, so you can use, for example, here. See, put it up. Okay, you can, if you have the other people's thesis. Let's say I just put my name. I'm not sure whether. See, ada tak? Is my thesis here? Okay, here. Okay, I can get my thesis. Okay, so you can. It's open. It's open access. You can immediate download from ITOS. Okay, you can just, and it's full version. Okay, full text. You can press this full text and you will get the full version of the thesis. Okay, okay, so you have this PDF version of my thesis. Okay, so something like that. So you can have this, that, but ITOS ni dia more of the UK punya thesis. Okay, kalau ini, let's see. Nanti later on lah you check on this on this kalau Malaysia punya Maito Maito. Okay, so you have a lot of Malaysian thesis lah, thesis written in Malaysia. Okay, let's see, customer satisfied. Let's try out. Fine. Okay. Yang ni thesis ataupun dissertation from various university in Malaysia. Okay. Customer satisfaction. Yang ni you can have a look lah. Okay. On determinants of customer satisfaction. Ni previous thesis. I'm not sure whether it is full version, tetapi you can get full text. For example, here, get full text. Okay, ada full text dia. Okay, that's on thesis. Okay, and monitoring literature. As you continue your research, you will progressively identify core sources of relevant information that are regularly updated. Okay, sometimes kalau apa tu your research issues, okay, the issues of your research title. Let's say for me, I'm doing on aging population. So there are certain website ataupun reports that gives a new updates of what is happening in that particular country. For example, population aging in Malaysia. Okay, I would ataupun population aging lah in this world kan. So the updates of that information will be usually in reports, annual report like UNDP, World Bank, ILO, okay. DOSM also have reports, okay. Ilmiah, Khazanah Research Institute for the economists lah. I use these reports or organization website, okay, to get information. Usually it is quite important if you want to introduce your research in your introduction chapter 1. Okay, you need to know what are the latest update, okay, what is happening in that country relating to your topic. Okay, perhaps you might use these reports, okay. And you can see also professional groups or conference website where papers are regularly published or promoted, okay. So let's say DOSM for economists. Kalau yang I don't know, kalau yang from the business kan, I think DOSM also is important for you to see the statistics and so on. Okay, I don't know whether you have gone into DOSM. Let's say. This is Department of Statistics Malaysia official report. Okay, you have a lot of statistic lah di sini kan. For me, I will go to e-statistic. Okay, you have you can set up an account, you log in, okay, and then you can search for printed publication, free downloads, journals, okay. You can also, let's say, free downloads, okay. Let's say I want to find something on social, and I want maybe on population, okay, search. Inilah population, okay, current population estimate, okay, by states in Malaysia, okay. Let's say I want to find something on economy and then data relating to employment, okay, search, okay. This is the annual economic statistic. This is the statistic lah, buku statistik, okay. Let's say year 2019. Maybe this is the latest one. Okay, this is the book. Okay, and it's free download. Okay, it's statistik pekerja dan gaji dan upah, and then you can get the PDF of it. It's a book. Okay. Okay, it's the statistic like if you want to get the statistics. Okay. Something like that. Okay. That's DOSM. Okay, it's quite important, especially for economists. You might want to use this Department of Statistics Malaysia to get information and data. Okay. What else? Okay. Okay. Now we go into help useful links or software or apps. Okay. For usually for this is the links or apps or software which is quite important, especially let's say for you to expedite your work, especially in managing your references. You might use Mendeley lah. Okay, maybe in the coming workshop, Dr. Rudy, I think Dr. Rudy will talk about this reference management software. Okay, and we have online summarizing tool and article summarizer. Okay, I think Puan Sharija is here kan? I ternampak dia tadi. Okay. Puan Sharija, I think she uses a lot of Scholarly and it's very helpful. Okay. Why I say that? Because let's say this Scholarly, let's say Scholarly. Okay. Scholarly, that's me. Okay, let's say Scholarly. Okay, this is online summarizing tool. Okay. Actually, we have to pay if you want to use the premium one. Just try it now, the free version of Scholarly. Okay, let's say I have the DOI of the article. Okay, upload the article. Alamak. Open. Ni je. Tunggu sekejap. Dia nak generate the paper. Okay. So here, this is the topic of the article: parents preferred caregivers in rural China, gender, migration, and intergenerational exchanges. So we have the summary flashcard, the key concepts. Okay, the key concepts here, the abstract. Okay, you can read the abstract of the paper, the synopsis of the paper. Okay, okay. Scholarly highlight. Okay, actually there's a lot more if you go for the premium. Okay, Scholarly summary. Okay, so actually if you go for the I think you have to log in and then you have to buy the premium, but you can use, last time I've been using the free version of it, but now it's, I think it's more limited, and you have to yes, thank you Puan Sharija. Puan Sharija have given me the access to the registration ataupun the subscription of Scholarly. Okay, it's very helpful. Okay, if Puan Sharija can later on can explain more on Scholarly and how it benefits the students in doing the research. Okay. Okay, besides Scholarly, okay, paraphrasing tool, okay, Quillbot is the most common way of paraphrasing your writing using the Quillbot to paraphrase. Maybe when you write, your English is not, for me, my English is not too good. I use Quillbot to rephrase it to become a better sentence. Okay, and then you have the imitative writing tool. You have Ref and Write. Okay, grammar checking. You use Grammarly, or now it is suggested that we use Instatext. Okay, you can have a look into all this. Instatext. Okay. Journal and grammar checker. Our publisher. Okay. This is also a good one. And if you go into the R publisher, you put up your writing inside the R publisher, they can also, this software can also help you to find relevant journals that can accept your paper. I think for some of the students like Master by Research and PhD, you are required to fulfill the requirement before your graduation, which is you have to publish papers before you can graduate. Okay, and this perhaps our publisher can help you to link your paper, and it gives you the direction or give you the guideline of which journal that may accept your paper based on the relevancy of the paper with the journal. Okay, this is good. RPubShare. In other words, connected papers, just as I have shown you just now, in order for you to expedite in searching for literatures that connects with what you are doing, you can use this connected papers. You go and cari, and all of that connected papers that is related to the article that you have insert into the connected papers. Okay. Okay. And then you have summary, text tool, resumer, okay, Harzings, publish and perish, and useful phrases in writing, phrase bank. Okay. I use this phrase bank Manchester a lot. Okay. I'm not sure whether you have used that one. Okay, let's see. It helps you a lot. Because writing a thesis kan, it uses academic writing. It uses academic writing. It's not the normal writing that you use on the daily basis. Okay, so let's say introducing a work, introducing work. Okay, let's say establish the importance of the topic for the, let's say here. Okay, so it gives you the example of sentence to use to start off your writing. Okay, let's say I want to explain the gap in the field of study. So I don't know what is the how to write that sentence. So I can go and use these sentences. It's not plagiarism. In this case, it's not plagiarism. Okay. Why? Because you are using this. It is a normal wording, a normal sentence, but of course you have to add in the information based on your research lah. Okay. Okay. This indicates a need to understand the various perception of your issues that exist among whatever. Okay. So you have to, and then they have a lot of ways of writing. Okay, the paper attempts to show that this paper explores the way in which this paper critically examines the view. If you want to look into how to write the literature review and so on, this is very important. Okay, website that you can have a look. Okay, stating the purpose of current research. Okay, the objective of this research are to determine whether whatever. Okay. This thesis intends to determine the extent to which, whatever. Okay, so it is very helpful. Okay, and then they have also defining the term. Okay, describing quantities. Let's say describing quantities. Okay, describing fractions. Okay, so words that you might use. Okay, dia taklah bombastic, tetapi it's sedap kan. Over half of those surveyed indicate that, okay, more than a third, a quarter of those surveyed agreed that, okay. So describing quantities, what about proportion? Usually proportion kan, percentage and so on, describing percentage. So they give you an idea of how to write. Just under 40% of those surveyed agreed that, okay. Describing average, okay. Describing ranges. But you use lah your own data, okay? So it's not plagiarism if you were to use this. Takut kadang-kadang some student is afraid to use this because it's end up with plagiarism and so on. No, it's not plagiarism. Okay. Explaining causality. Let's see. Okay. Signaling transition. Kalau transition pun is important to ensure that your writing too, it flows it flows well. Okay, reintroducing a new topic. Okay, in the case of X, with regard to X, reintroducing the topic, as discussed above, as explained earlier. All these sentences is important to enhance your writing. Okay. Okay. Moving to the next section. So how do you want to say that in your write up? Okay. Okay. Summarizing a section or a chapter. Okay. Reviewing a following chapter. So you can use this academic phrase bank. Okay. Okay. And also, if you don't use the Mendeley for citation, you can use the citation machine. Okay. This is similar to Mendeley, but for me, I prefer Mendeley. But you can have the other types of citation helper, which is this citation machine. Okay. It also helps you to write your references. But for me, I prefer Mendeley. Okay. Okay. So I think we're almost ending our session. So I use a lot of help from the Facebook. Okay. Kalau Facebook, I think most of you have Facebook. Ada yang tak ada, but you can create one account for Facebook. And you benefit from the Facebook or other social media. For me, Facebook is a good for me to understand better of the thesis process. Why? Because they share a lot of things in the Facebook. But for me, I look into all of these Facebook, Facebook title ke panggil. The Facebook Ajis Voice, Research Tips, right? PhD support group, doctorate support group. All of this I go into to. Kalau for example Hairul Azril ni, he is an expert in systematic literature review. Okay. So you can look in, and then they also post a lot of workshop that you can participate. Okay. Every day ada workshop that you can, can participate. They advertise the workshop. Okay. Kalau workshop ni free lah. Tapi kalau other workshop, I think you have to pay for that workshop. Sometimes it's free. Okay. So this is an example of the reference book. Lemak dah jam. Okay. Okay. I will give you I will share with you the slides because I have a lot of information there. Maybe you can go through the slides later on, and I also give the links so it's easy for you to, browse into those links. Okay. I think that's all of my sharing. I hope you enjoyed the information, the sharing that I shared with you. Any questions? Thank you, Puan Sharija. Okay, you can go for scholarship if you want, and then you can subscribe. And yeah, as for student kan, 120 for 3 months, and you can use 2 or 3 students per subscription. That's great. Thank you, Puan.
I think, Dr. Hanim, I think some of the students might be thinking, oh, this is just beneficial for students, but actually no. I myself still use all the tools that you are mentioning until now. When we want to write papers, we want to memudahkan kerja kita kan? Kan?
Yes.
So I think it's a very useful tools and platforms that as a researcher that you
Yeah.
can gunakan.
Yeah, there's some student who raised their hand. I think
Oh, okay.
anyone you can voice out your questions.
So,
you raise your hand. Do you have any question? No? Okay, maybe tertekan.
yeah, I think yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Any more questions on for coursework students? Kindly, oh, okay. This Dr. Saizal mentioned for coursework, postgraduate by coursework students, MBA, MHCM, kindly stay for the research project flow session after this. Okay, so yeah, for research coursework student, not for research, not by research, but coursework postgraduate students. Okay, any more questions? Kalau tak ada, if there's no question, I think it's very clear. It's very helpful. The session is very helpful today on how to search for the right, which methods to use ke, atau how to. Next session with Dr. Rudy, I think we will discuss on how to manage. Once you already know, yeah, your topics, then you get a lot of materials already, then how you want to manage it, yeah. So for today's session is on how to search, because I think most of the students only use Google, perhaps Google biasa, not even Google Scholar, kan? So this session is very helpful for them. And some students come and see me, Doctor, where can we get example of thesis, yeah, example of thesis yang full thesis, that kind of questions, yeah. So now Dr. Hanim already shared to you where to get, how to get. So I hope it will be beneficial lah, yeah. If there's no question, I think we can take photo first, Dr. Hanim, boleh? Boleh. So let's switch on
boleh.
our camera. Okay, Dr. Saizal boleh, very beneficial kan, Puan Syarijah kan? Ya, saya masih pakai ni, semua benda-benda Quillbot masih pakai.
Quillbot pun saya sentiasa pakai.
Biasa pakai. Okay, because we don't want to plagiarize.
Yeah.
We don't want to plagiarize. Kalau, as we try to not to plagiarize, we know, and our English is not that good anyway, so
Yeah,
we still need
betul.
these tools to help. Ya, Dr. Saiza boleh tolong step gambar?
Boleh doktor. Kejap okey.
Okay. So we switch on the camera. Okay. Oh, si Doni. Si Doni ada di sini, Doni. Aku tunggu proposalmu.
Macam mana mau kasih dia tu pergi tukar dia punya view tu.
Ya, hati-hati ya yang tengah driving tu.
Ya.
Oh, ada yang tengah driving kah? Sorry
Fatin.
lah. Yeah.
Boleh
So,
kah?
macam tidak dapat pula ni doktor dia punya layout ni saya mau buat yang kita boleh separate ikut tu bah.
Oh, macam mana? Ya. We will, macam mana tu? Hanim boleh ambil gambar tak, Nim? Aku ni.
Sekejap saya try ya.
Ya. Tak berapa
Oh,
banyak.
grid. Kejap.
Oh, boleh.
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 Sorry.
Okay.
Baru dapat ya. Okay. Alright. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Lagi sekali ya. Sebab kita ramai dalam sesi ni. Kejap.
Turn out ya.
Okay. Next. Alright. 1, 2, 3. So, yeah. Okay, so macam mana tu, doktor, kita terus proceed kepada briefing session untuk research project flow.
Okay,
Boleh?
sekejap, Dr. Saizal. Okay, thank you, Dr. Hanim, for contributing
Thank you,
your
everyone.
time and your experts in this topic today. Thank you also to Puan Syarijah, ya. Thank you, Puan, for coming to the session, ya. And for those tiada kupi-kupi ni, Nurul, nanti kita, siapa ni? Si Andrew. Andrew nanti datang FPEP untuk kupi-kupi. So, thank you, Dr. Hanim. Okay.
Thank you so much, everyone. All the best to you.
Thank you. So the slides we will share it on the Telegram later for postgraduate by research. So by coursework juga nanti Dr. Saizal akan post kan, Doktor?
Yeah, for sure. Yes.
Okay, so next session will be, thank you Dr. Hanim, selamat bercuti.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, doctor.
Okay, the link for recording will be shared. Yes, we will share the recording session too at the YouTube channel, our YouTube channel. Okay, so next session, I will pass over to Dr. Saizal. This is for the by coursework students, yeah? Over to you, Doctor.
Yes. Thank you very much, Dr. Izianti. Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera, everyone. Okay, so we will proceed to the briefing session about your research project flow. So this is, of course, this is very important for for coursework and mixed mode students, meaning that this briefing is apart for MBA and MSCM, it is also related to our Amicon students as well. So as you all are aware of, next semester we have research project and research method. Uh, it will be in next semester. And of course, in that course, you are required to conduct a research project. So today I will explain to you what are the flows for the research project. Yeah. So allow me to share my screen. Okay, so boleh nampak screen saya kan? Can you all see the screen? All right, thank you very much. Okay, so here we have the research project flow or research project guidelines. So we will start with a briefing session. So that briefing session is today, right now, where I will explain to you, as I said before this, the flows of a research project. Yeah. So a research project is a very important component of your study. Yeah. So a research project is an introduction. A research project for MBA carries 7 credit hours, while a research project for MHCM carries 6 credit hours. And for dissertation, for the dissertation, a research part carries 19 credit hours. So it's a very important part of your study. As I said before this, in a research project and as well as in a dissertation, you are required to write uh, and to conduct a research. Yeah. So in order to conduct a research, first and foremost, you need to appoint or nominate a supervisor. So that is why it is important for you to complete the research project supervisor nomination form. So as informed before this, the deadline for the supervisor nomination form will be on the 31st of January. But we will what we call as extend the deadline to a later date, and we will inform later when is the latest deadline for what we call as the supervisor nomination form to be completed. So in the supervisor nomination form, it is actually a very brief form because as you can see here, apart from filling out your student particulars, your name, your student ID, and your contact number, as well as your program, you're only required to complete or to inform your research title and your proposed research project. Yeah. So in the proposed research project, we have various what we call as field that you can choose from. Yeah. And of course, apart from that, you are required to propose a supervisor. Yeah. And in the faculty, we have uh, many what we call potential supervisor that you can choose from. And in order for you to find a potential supervisor, you can go to our website. Yeah, so you can go to Google and simply type FPEP. And then after that, go to our website. Faculty Perniagaan, Ekonomi, dan Perakaunan. So this is to show you how you can find suitable lecturers to become your supervisor. Yeah, so you need to ensure that that lecturer is in line with your research topic. And in order to do that, after you go to our website, then you click About Us. Yeah, choose About Us. And then after that, go to Administration. After you go to Administration, you go to the academic staff. So here we have professor, sorry, we have, okay, administration, academic staff, we have professor, we have associate professor, we have senior lecturer, and we also have lecturer. So let's say you wanted to look for our professors. So you can simply go to or click professor. So here we have, okay, so here we have a list of professor that you can choose from. So, for example, we have Professor Dr. Rashid Mail, Professor Dr. Jennifer Chan Kim Lian, and Professor Dr. Kasim Haji Mat Mansur. And you can look for their expertise or their online CV as well as their Google Scholar in order to find their what we call as their field of expertise. Yeah. So let's say, for example, you are interested in conducting a research related to accountancy, then perhaps you can check for our accounting lectures. Yeah. So if let's say you are interested to conduct a study related to human resource economics, maybe you can look for our human resource economic lectures. If you are interested to conduct a study about management, you can also look for our lecturers who are expert in management. Yes, so we have professors, we have associate professors, we have senior lecturers, as well as lecturer that you can choose from. Yeah, so for example, so another option here we have, let's say we have uh, Associate Professor Dr. Ramraini binti Ali Hassan. So you can click on her expertise to see her expertise. Yeah, so here we have the expertise research, which in this case is a small, medium enterprises, which is related with the entrepreneurship. And you can also check for the publication. Yeah, to see the publication background of Dr. Associate Professor Dr. Ramraini. Yeah. So you can do this to find for suitable supervisor. Yeah. So after, let's say, for example, you're interested to nominate a lecturer, let's say Dr. Andy Tamsang. So you can simply, so here we have the email address of Dr. Andy Tamsang, andy@ums.edu.my. So you can email them directly and ask for their, what we call as, uh, uh, ask for their permission, yeah, to become your supervisor for your research project. Yeah. So yeah, so that is how you find a potential supervisor for your research project. Of course, we also have lecturers from Labuan because some students in Labuan in particular ask whether they can appoint supervisor from Labuan. And yes, you can do so. You can appoint lecturer from Labuan as well. But number one, you need to make sure that they are also in line with your field of study research project. And apart from that, you also need to ensure that they have handled uh, MBA courses before. So I have given you the list of lecturers that have handled our courses before. So you can contact them directly. You can check for their email address through the FCAL website, yeah, to contact them. And uh, yeah, so that is related to our MBA students in Labuan. Yeah. However, for our students in Sandakan and Tawau, you are required choose a supervisor from FPEP only, because we only appoint lecturers from FPEP to handle courses in Tawau as well as in Sandakan. Yeah. So any question for now? Do you have any question? So you can either put your question in the chat box, or you can also switch on your microphone. I believe there is no question for now. Okay, let us proceed. Yes?
Question from me. I think this is
Yes,
one
yes.
of the common question as well. How about
Okay.
the lecturer did not reply to my mail? What should I do? Can I just write her name on it?
Okay, so
Some lecturers are busy, they overlook the emails perhaps. Yeah.
yeah. So unfortunately, thank you very much for the question, Dr. Izianti. But unfortunately, in the what we call as nomination form, the supervisor, potential supervisor, are required to verify. Yeah. So the form. So here is the form. Perhaps I can show it here. So this is the form that the student need to complete, and it has to be verified and completed by the supervisor, the potential supervisor, meaning that the potential supervisor have to, have to sign this form as well. So it is very important for the supervisor to agree. Yeah, so this is to ensure that the supervisor know that they are appointed or nominated to become a supervisor for the research project. Yeah, so meaning that it is important for you to do so. But let's say, for example, the supervisor did not respond to your email. You can inform me so that perhaps I can, I can contact the potential supervisor directly. Yeah. So yeah, it is very important again for the supervisor to know that they are being nominated and to complete uh, this form. Unfortunately. Okay. All right. So let us go to the uh, research flow again. Okay, so after you have nominated a supervisor, then the faculty will screen your nomination. Yeah, the faculty will screen your nomination. So meaning that they are going to look into your research field and your research title. Important for you to highlight your research title as well in the supervisor nomination form. So the faculty will look into the potential supervisor nominated in your research field in order to see the suitability. Yeah, because the faculty will try to ensure that your field of study is relevant with your supervisor or in line with your supervisor's expertise. Otherwise, we have the right to nominate a different supervisor or to nominate a co-supervisor. So that's the second step, which is the supervisor nomination. The next step or the next process is so here in the supervisor nomination form, yeah, before I forget, in the supervisor nomination, you are also required to create a brief research proposal. Yeah, so a brief research proposal is just a maximum 3 page of research proposal where you highlight your research title, introduction, background and statement of the problem, research aim and objectives, scope of study, study population, data collection method. So you just highlight what are the data collection method that you're going to use, the proposed data collection method, because we know that after you meet your potential supervisor, this will be refined, of course. Yeah. And we have data analysis method as well as references. Yeah. So use the latest APA citation. So the reason why we require you to create a research proposal, a maximum 3 page of research proposal, is so that your potential supervisor know that you are in line with their expertise. So That's the first one. The second reason is because we know some of the student might not get or perhaps they don't have a suitable lecturer in mind. So they can simply have this and then send it to the Google form and let the faculty decide who are the suitable supervisor. So we will look into your research proposal to see or to appoint a suitable supervisor. Yeah, so that's why this is important as well. But don't worry because this is only a maximum of 3 pages, as I mentioned just now. Yeah. So okay. So the next process is the, let me see. All right. Okay. So the next process is the proposal presentation. Yeah. So the proposal presentation is conducted or will be conducted in semester 2, session 2023 and 2020, session 2022, 2023. So a completed proposal must be submitted in week 10. Yeah. With the following attachment. So first, you need to have the proposal. You need to have a proposal, and of course we will look into your Turnitin report. You need to ensure that your similarity index is 30% or lower. Yeah, the lower the better. And after that, your proposal presentation will be conducted in week 12, meaning that you only have 10 weeks to prepare for your proposal, yeah, after the class has started. But of course, yeah, that's why we encourage you. So that's why we ask for your supervisor nomination early so that you can constantly communicate with them even before the semester start, so that you will have more time to prepare for your proposal. Okay, so that's the proposal presentation stage. After that, we have the completed research project submission for Viva Voce. This will be conducted in semester 3, session 2022-2023. So this completed research project must be submitted in week 5 with the following attachment. Number 1, your research project submission certified by the supervisor, the Turnitin report, and of course, the completed research project as well, which has to be submitted in week 5. And keep in mind that the Viva Voce, which will be physical, will be conducted in week 7. Yeah, it will be conducted in week 7. Okay, so in the proposal presentation, you are required to complete, or you in the proposal, you are required to have the first chapters, okay, the first 3 chapters, namely the introduction, the literature review, as well as data and methodology chapter. So that is in the proposal presentation stage, which will be conducted in semester 2. In semester 3, you are required to have in your research project, you are required to have, of course, the introduction, the literature review, the methodology, data analysis or result analysis, as well as the conclusion and recommendation. You need to have the complete 5 chapters in your research project for the upcoming Viva Voce, which will be conducted in semester 3. Yeah. So yeah, and of course, in the research project correction after Viva Voce. So this is the next process. After the proposal presentation in semester 2 and your Viva Voce in semester 3, then the next stage will be the research project correction after Viva Voce. So this is after the Viva Voce. So the correction form must be completed by the student. I will share you the forms later on. And then students must submit the correction form to the examiners for correction checking and certification. It means that the examiners will look into your corrections. Okay, they will look into your correction, whether you have made the suggested correction or not. And then for correction checking and certification, you are required to contact the examiners directly and not through the technical committee or the coordinators. I will explain you about this research project correction later on. I mean, after the Viva Voce as well, don't worry about that. So after the research project correction after Viva Voce, then the next stage is the research project submission after correction, meaning that after the examiners check and certify your corrected research project, then the next stage is the research project submission after the correction, which is the ring-bound submission. So in this ring-bound submission, the technical committee will look for your research formatting, whether it is in line with Gaia-UMS and whether the similarity index is low or not. If let's say, for example, your research project is not in line with Gaia-UMS, then you are required to revise your research format, yeah, research project format, because we need to ensure that you are following Gaia UMS 100%. And in order for you to know more about Gaia UMS, after this, if I'm not mistaken, we have another workshop for our thesis formatting, which will be handled by our lecturers as well. And we invite you all to join that workshop because it is very important, especially for the ring-bound submission. Okay, so the submission of the correction must be sent to the technical committee in 2 to 4 weeks after the Viva Voce. It means that you only have 2 to 4 weeks to send for your corrected research project to the examiners. For them, you need to give them some rooms to check. And then after that, once verified, send us the ring-bound submission within 2 to 4 weeks, roughly a month. So you have roughly a month, to do the correction, to communicate directly with the examiners, to do proper or necessary what we call as correction after that. And then after you receive the verification from the examiners, send us the ring bond submission within that period of time, which is 2 to 4 weeks or roughly a month. So in the submission after correction, you need to have the following attachment. First, correction form. Second, submission notice signed by the examiners and the main supervisor, as well as the Turnitin report. So what is the next process after the ring-bound submission? So once the faculty accepted your ring-bound submission, it means that you have completed, it means that you have, created a research project that follow with our Gaia UMS uh, with Turnitin report, then you can proceed to the hardbound submission. So that is the final stage of your research project. Yeah. So any question from our audience? So here we have this additional note: student that did not complete any of the assessment, unfortunately, will be failed and graded F. It means that you need to ensure that you have completed two level of assessment for your research project. First is your proposal defense. Second is your Viva Voce. Of course, apart from that, you also need to complete, you also need to send us the completed research project as well. So in terms of marking distribution, kindly be aware that the proposal carries 20%, while the Viva Voce in project submission, carries 80%. So yeah, I believe that's all from me. Any question from the floor? Do you have any question? Anyone? semester. Okay, we have one student. We have one question here. Semester 3 is the short sem, isn't it? Yes. Thank you very much for that. Very good question. Yes, semester 3 is a short semester. Uh, Roughly, we have around 7 weeks in semester 3. So that's why the Viva Voce will be conducted in week 7. So you need to send us the completed research project in week 5. And then after that, the Viva Voce will be conducted 2 weeks after that, which is in week 7. How many pages to write in our dissertation? So this is also a good question. I will send you our Gaia UMS as a guidance for you to to see the minimum and maximum number of we actually don't have maximum or minimum pages, but we have maximum number of words, minimum to maximum number of words for a research project as well as a dissertation. So another question from Noor Elmi, after submitting the Google form with SB nomination, are we still allowed to change the, of course, yeah, because we know this research title is, it depends on various factors. Yeah. So apart from your discussion with your supervisor, sometimes even the examiners may require you or suggest you to change your research title. So research title constantly change. So you can have, you can put a research title, but of course, through time, yeah, as we go along this research project, that title will change, and you are allowed to do so. Don't worry about that. Yeah. So any other question? So, okay, if I can share some of my experience regarding the research project based on previous semesters, one of the difficulties of our student is in terms of the time frame for them to complete their research project. So that is, and of course, we are following we are following our academic calendar, meaning that we cannot, extend the deadline of your proposal defense in Viva Voce easily. Because let's say we extend your proposal presentation deadline, or your proposal presentation itself. Yeah. So it will affect the time of period or the period of time for you to complete your research project for the upcoming Viva Voce. And let's say, for example, we extend your Viva Voce presentation. So it will affect your correction period. So that's why it is very difficult it is very difficult from our side to change the, the important dates in your research project, namely the, the submission as well as the presentation itself, because it will affect the later stage of your project. And it is also very important for you to nominate early so that you can start your research project, sooner. You can start even before the semester start. Try to create or prepare a proposal before, the submission deadline, which is, I believe, in week 10 of semester 2. Yeah. So, yeah, that's among the things that you need to be aware of. Yeah. To prepare early and constantly communicate with your supervisor. Yeah. You need to constantly communicate with them. You don't wait for them to, to ask for your draft, for example. You try to communicate constantly with them. Yeah. So it is very important for you to do that so that you can create a good research proposal and a good research project. And apart from that, what are the other things that may be important for you to know? Uh,
Dr.
yeah,
Saiza.
yes, Dr. Izyanti.
I would also like to mention one thing as well. For example, kan?
Okay.
Okay, for example, let's say I want to do, this is with regards to your topic lah, okay? Let's say, for example, I want to do job turnover, okay? Turnover staff lah, okay? It's a management, right? But it does not necessarily mean that I have to take the lecturer from management. It could be from hotel as well, or from finance. Let's say they want to do in banking industry, so they can take from finance. Is it possible like that, doctor? Tak semestinya from
Yes, of course.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. You can do that as well. Appoint uh, a lecturer from yeah. It is not necessarily from management. You can also appoint someone from other fields of study as well, or from other program. Yeah. So and that is also the reason why we also encourage you to appoint a co-supervisor. Because sometimes your main supervisor may be busy, maybe they have, they have other commitments. So you can at least contact your co-supervisor to assist you in your project. So yeah, based on my experience from our previous research project students, we found out that it is very helpful for them if they have a co-supervision actually. Yeah, because meaning that you can communicate apart from the main supervisor, you can also communicate with the co-supervisors. So it can help you a lot in writing your research project. One supervisor may be good in terms of the introduction in literature review, yeah, in your related field of study for your research project. One supervisor might be good in terms of data analysis, so on and so forth. Yeah, so we encourage you to have two supervisors or co-supervision. But of course, if you insist of having one supervisor only, you can do so as well. But of course, we are going to look into your what we call as research project supervisor nomination and see whether it is relevant for you to have a co-supervision as well. But it is much more better if you can nominate them. If you can nominate these two supervisors in the supervisor nomination form. So here we have a message from Dr. Izianti. Co-SB can be from different field. For example, the main supervisor is from management and the co-supervisor is from marketing, depending on your research topic or field of study. It can also be lecturers who are not teaching postgraduate studies as well. Yeah, so this is also thank you very much, Dr. Zenti, for pointing this one. So some of the students, they think that they can only appoint supervisor based on the lecturers who have taught MBA or MSCM or MA Cons. No, yeah, you can appoint any lecturers from the faculty as long as they are relevant to your study. And of course, another reason why you can have, or we encourage you to have co-supervision is because your study might not be purely in a particular field of study. For example, let's say you are conducting a study in marketing. Sometimes that marketing is related with management. So you can appoint from a management lecturer, or maybe marketing, and at the same time, it is relevant or heavily related with entrepreneurship. So you can appoint an entrepreneurship lecturer to become your co-supervisor or to become your main supervisor, and the co-supervisor is the marketing lecturer. Yeah, so that is a very good point, Dr. Izianti. Thank you for pointing that. So do we have any other question from the floor? No question. Let me see who are the participant. Okay, so I believe if you don't have any question, Dr. Izianti, shall we end the session?
Yes, sure, doctor.
Okay, so uh, how we're going to do it. Do I pass it to you or macam mana tu, Doktor?
No, it's okay, go
Saya
ahead.
just
You sum up lah. Lepas tu habislah kita kata. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Izyanti. So again, thank you very much, everyone, for joining this briefing session. So I wish you all the best for your research project. So please complete the research project supervisor nomination form soon as possible. Yeah, go to our website again. Go to our website for our lecturers and contact them directly. If you cannot contact them, or if they don't respond, you can inform me so that I can perhaps inform them directly. Perhaps they your email. Yeah. So and be aware of the important deadlines. I've shared you the important deadlines as I mentioned just now. So yeah, I will share you again the deadlines later on in our Telegram group. Yeah. So yeah, I believe that's all. Thank you very much, everyone. Yeah. All the best and have a great weekend. So we have one question from Rebecca. Yeah, perhaps I can. The paper submission is being screened, right? If there is any changes required, will be notified as well. Yes. Yeah. This is referring to the supervision, right? Yeah. We will inform if we have, different opinions, right? Let's say, for example, we have a suggested co-supervisor. Of course, we will inform you that we suggest this to become your co-supervisor. Don't worry about that. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Stay safe. Wish you all the best for your research project.